Hello, everyone. Welcome to 10 Minutes Astrology. Once a week, me and Alejo will introduce you to some interesting part for learning astrology, especially to help beginner to step-by-step learning the astrology. Alejo, how are you?
Hi, everyone. How are you all?
Today, you are a little bit more Saturn than
Why? Because I'm wearing a shirt.
Is that only you wearing a shirt? And usually you are very, very like
I'm like, hi,
yeah.
everyone.
And today
Yes,
you just like waiting for me to introduce
I'm
you, and then
waiting.
you just like hi, with like, hi. You
I'm
still have
waiting
your
for the
style.
right time. Yes.
You still
Hello,
have your
everyone. Hello, everyone. This is serious. We're going to be talking about Saturn. This is a serious matter.
yeah series matter. Yeah, Saturn.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So let's before the series matter, let's go to another side of a Saturn. Is a practical side. So Alejo, do you have any event coming up?
Yeah, very important. And actually, it's related to Saturn in some
Oh,
ways.
okay. All right.
It's about the 12th house.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be teaching a webinar on the 12th house, planets in the 12th house, how
Mm-hmm.
to interpret the 12th house.
Uh-huh.
And it's going to happen on the 20th of May through the Faculty of Astrological Studies.
Okay, cool. So the 20th of May, and Alejo is going to talk about the planet in 12th house in the faculty. So,
Yeah,
so
astrology.org.uk.
astrology.org.uk. So if you're interested in this subject, please go to the astrology.org.uk and go to enroll for this webinar.
Yeah.
So we talk about Saturn. It is very interesting because I think we already talk about Saturn's sign, Saturn's house, but Saturn's aspect, how Saturn influence another planet through the aspect, Alejo.
So Saturn is about restrictions and limitations, right? And it's
Mm-hmm,
about hard work.
mm-hmm,
When we talked about Saturn, we said it was the last planet in the solar system. So it was the last sphere. So that's why it talks about limits, restrictions,
mm-hmm,
boundaries.
mm-hmm,
So when Saturn is aspecting a planet, it will give this planet a sense of difficulty, a sense of restriction, a sense that the planet cannot act so freely. And
mm-hmm,
basically, what I would say from a psychological perspective is that the 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 Saturnian principle is asking to this planet, what are you really made of? What is really the core of your essence?
mm.
And so that's how you can overcome these tribulations and these difficulties that Saturn
Mm.
offer.
Okay. I have to do something very Saturnian because when Alejo mentioned about the last planet in the solar system, I mean in the ancient world. So I have
Yes,
to add this
yes,
in because some of our audience will say, "What? Saturn is not the last planet in the solar system according to that." But
yeah,
in the ancient time before the Uranus has been discovered, yes, for lots of maybe 1,000 years, because what they can see by the light of the planet, and the only thing they can see, the Saturn is the last planet they can see. So there is a sense of limitation. Sorry to bring you back to the
no,
ancient
very
time,
important. Yes,
but so how are we going to practically? I think last time we used the Galileo's chart. We used Galileo's
hmm
chart, and we find that he has the Saturn conjunct Jupiter. That was so interesting. But we only see this chart from Jupiter's view. So how about we use the same chart? Because I was prepared another chart, but I think it's very nice. The same aspect. Then we explain from Saturn's view compare with last week. We have a different view and different layer to see. How about that?
So if we said when Jupiter is conjunct Saturn, we said Jupiter is expanding the sense of restriction. Jupiter is expanding the structure of science. Jupiter is expanding our sense of limitations, the border until which we were able to see. We can see farther after that. After that, and now we could think the other way around, because if two planets are in an aspect, it means that they are both interacting with each other. They are both modifying each other. So we could say
Mm-hmm.
that Saturn is restricting Jupiter. So Saturn
Ah.
is making Galileo go deep into his beliefs, his sense of purpose, his possibilities of expansion and growth, and to perhaps first create a sense of restrictions and limitation, but then slowly perhaps it's going to ground it and it's going to make it more real, more practical, more effective after passing this sense of
Mm.
restriction and limitation. So what's interesting when Jupiter and Saturn are together, that these two principles are together, the expansion and the containment. So it's like a contained kind of growth that can happen.
Yeah. So let me I think what you say just remind me a very interesting way to describe this aspect. Okay. When Jupiter conjunct Saturn, if Jupiter want to expand, Jupiter has to expand in a Saturnian way. So yes,
Exactly.
expand slowly. And then third, when Saturn want to make things, take things down, what he take? He take the hope or take the a dream or idea to make it come true. So I like this set of aspect, and no wonder this set of aspect in the mundane astrology, the branch of astrology we're talking about the world event, political economy, or even the natural disaster. When we talk about that, Jupiter Saturn conjunction becomes so important in the ancient time when the ancient astrologer makes so-called prediction of the future. And this set of aspects being called like great conjunction. Okay, ignore that. What I mean is like, so you have seen, because both planets are social planets. And so it's not only about you and me, but it's also about the whole society, how we see the society. From the Galileo's chart, if he had a view about the society or what science is about or what the world is, then he will going to make it happen. He will not just thinking about it and just let go of it, or just like, yeah, I'm just an idea, but I'm not going to make it happen. No, because Jupiter conjunct Saturn, he will definitely going to make it happen, because the Saturn
Exactly.
will say, if you have an idea, you have to do it.
Yes, I agree. Nice.
Yeah. So, our exercise.
So I would say, if I can,
Yeah, of course.
do Saturn. Let's go to a personal planet. So because maybe it's easier to grasp.
Yeah.
How would it be different if you have Saturn opposing the Sun? So the sense of
Ooh.
restriction and boundary opposing your sense of self and expression,
You
or
give
if
them
you
a
have
really hard
Saturn.
work.
No, come on. Or if you have Saturn trining your sun. So
Yes,
Saturn
okay.
supporting this sense of expression. I don't want to say too much because I want this to be the exercise, but yeah.
Yeah, so let me repeat. So think about first, if you have or if someone have the Saturn opposite the Sun, how this Saturn going to, you know, have impact to the Sun theme about self-expression, about heroic journey, about self-identity. And also think about another way. If this Saturn is trying the Sun, will it be different?
It should.
It should
If
be a little bit
astrology
different.
works, it should be different.
It's slightly different. Slightly different. It's not going to make you super happy because Saturn is always there. Saturn is a little bit serious. But
Yeah.
there is something there would change, would compare with Saturn opposite Sun and the Saturn trying the Sun. It's slightly different. Whoa,
Yeah.
this is very interesting. Thank you, Alejo. So
Nice.
today we're talking about the Saturn, as I say. This is the, like Alejo said, this is the last planet in the ancient world, in the ancient time, until Uranus has been discovered. So following Saturn next week, Alejo, we're going to talk about Uranus. Are you ready for that?
Yeah. Are you
we have
ready?
to we have to break the boundary. We have to break the boundary. I can expect next episode will be a bit crazy.
Yeah, hopefully. Yes.
Hopefully. So thanks everyone for watching and listening 10 minutes astrology once a week. Me and Alejo were talking about astrology and introduce you some very basic meaning in the astrology to help beginner to learn astrology. And don't forget, Alejo going to have his webinar on 20th of May. If you are interested, please go to astrology.co.uk, right? .co.uk to find
Yes.
Alejo's webinar, The Planet in the 12th House. Okay, see you next week. Bye.
Bye bye.